Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Upptalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Upptalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
It will take you to the login page and you'll have a user radio and password for it. You just need to click on login just like how we log into our Facebook. So basically ask them for to give me all the access. So this will be your home page. So here today, I'm just going to give you just an overview. What is your channel like? How it is? How does such an employee? So this is our home page. So like once you log in, this is where you'll be landing. So the first item we need to go like the setup and everything. You'll start at 4 or 5 sessions. After we'll go into the functionalities. First let's see like this is about how we search an employee, the application. If you click star, it will give you the full list of employees who is available in the system and it will give you the total count here. Like full employee list. So here, like ask. So it will solve it. It select. So it will give you full list of employees here and you can expand it by taking this. This will be the full expansion of this. And then here we have now like this particular profile will give you the name ID and what labor account they are in. This is just a detail. And here currently we have around 62 employees. This is just a test instance. So like the employees are like loaded back from so we have only 62 people here. So the options here are like we have a search box and we have a we can have a column search and currently this is 1. 3, we want to reduce the value. We can produce it like that. And we can also use a filter to filter out like I need only this employee similar to what we have here. We can have based on each ID name or labor account, whatever it is. And this particular item, the search item, is called as quick find. There are different items like this one. This is quick find where we search through the search box. There are other items like employee somebody, but if you see here there are n number of items. Each will have different columns to display. So here we have name, ID and labor. If you select maybe an example, I'm giving just an example. There are different items. This will give a different like columns along with the possible. Oh, similarly, if I set up like maybe if I backfire total hours means if you currently don't, is that let me select where do I see limited items. There should be more. One second, give me a minute. So this is another hypervine, which is approvals. Like this will give you details like how many people are approved home. Like it's just a look and feel, man. Based on each of the items, like similar to quick find, it is a default one. Others are created by like the maybe the other trainees or over has worked on it. So that's the reason those are not proper. We'll create a proper one so that it looks like a correct one. So what we can do is in that we can say select our own columns, what columns we need. Similar to a name, ID and primary code, you can select different columns just to have a proper look into that. So this is the basic item which we'll be using. And here, once you get access, you can just maybe select an employee and click on people. So what this does is from here, if you select the people and click on edit, clicking people and click on edit, it will take you to a tab called people editor. This is actually where you need to go. So here it will give you details of all his personal data. Like when the employee was hired, what is his username, whether he's active or not, all the items will be here. So it's several. First item is general information. It's here, it will have the first name. What is this, Heidi? When is his birth date, when he was hired, from when did he at you? And again, he had accruals. And leave means what? What is his leave policy? Based on his leave policy, only number of leaves for a year, how many vacation, how many sick will be determined. So what leave policy he is in? So it's full personal, everything into that. And if you want to go through each and every item to have overview, once you get an access, you can go through it. Like user information is again, it will have the username and password to log in. This is like today we'll just have an overview on all these personality fields and a quick intro how we navigate through promos. So we went through the general information accruals and user imagine like visa, self-explanatory just to get a grip on what field is available under what section. So general information has employees or me, hire date and the ID. So accruals will have what leave policy is attached to how many leaves eligible for, like this. I'll be, when you're talking this, the voice at my end, it breaks a little bit. Is there a way to fix it? Or I think I'm receiving echo from your end. So we have gone through 3 items, user information. Then the next item you need to go through is, again, this person dates will have again the same details, like when he's hired, like what is this, banger role reference, so on. So these are again like full updates. So that's all about this. And then we need, this is all in the person that, then you need to click on job assignment to see more items. Here in job, we'll have multiple items. First is primary account. This will determine which department he is into, under which department, what is the sub department like. We can have up to 7 values here. So example, there are like here, this sound values we have like May. It has company, region, division, department, facility, cost center, and what job is it. So each item you need to choose one like each value. It corresponds to something like maybe Adidas Coffee Center, 10 like 10101. It can be runs to KF something, just an example. We have multiple values here, but in a proper organization, they will have proper structure for it. Then, upon choosing companies, we have region, which region it is, whether it's you are like, are you North America or Europe or Asia? So which region that we need to choose, or under region we need to choose what division he's into. And then like under the division, like the division department, all this stuff, would it be already built in? Like they already have separated those and already in the system where I have to create division department and then also then add it to the actual employee, mostly in the live environment. These would be created in each implementation. But if there is anything needed to be added, we need to create. Mostly it will be there, but I will show you. If it's a new project, then I have to create everything. I'll show you like by the each item, whatever is there and how we create it. So that's about this primary. And then again, we will have our times of what times on the place so that when he swipes and no clocks in and clocks out, proper timing is updated to his time. So based on his location. So this is where we need to choose this time zone. And again, the reports to refer to his manager who he's reporting to. And again, next item is we're here to timekeeper. So this timekeeper is a place where we define what payroll he is. So payroll refers to how his hours are calculated for mostly for hourly employees. So if an employee works for 8 hours, how much hours out of that would be regular, beyond which hours it will be paid us overtime, and at what rate of work, whether it's a double day or it's 1.5 rate or 2.5 rate, whatever it is, and how a holiday should be paid, how an employee should be paid when he works on weekend. So these different combinations is determined using payroll. So it will be different for each state and each set of employees. So under this payroll, we define it. So here we are just selecting the payrolls, whichever we have created, like these leaves payrolls. Everything is created under in setup. So that's the code configuration, which we will be going through the later sessions. I'm just giving you where it is mapped for a per employee. So all these options, like the job assignment option, we're going through just under one person. So every person will have this job assignment options. And it means access profile. This is what defines it. What access and employees should be having, whether he's a super user or whether he's just an employee or whether he's a manager, how much access he can have, what would be his home screen, or like what are the functionalities the employee has access to. That is defined through these two items, display profile and function access profile. So others are generic items, but these two define the limitations and how much the employee can have access in the system. And next item, which is here, is employee role. So this determines how the employee's time card look like. Here it's only, we will have our live view, we will have a project view, we have a type stamp and hour. So it depends on what type of employee we are going to use for that employee. What type of is needed. If he's hourly employee, you'll go either hourly or type stamp hourly. If he's a salaried employee, we'll go with the project. How do you know? Like salaries employees would be project view. They don't need to clock in and clock out. They'll get a fixed page. They're not going to watch their time. They just need to enter the hours. That's the reason we give them a project. Is it like a standard practice for all companies? They would say project views. That is more or less about the person that. But next item is how we navigate to employees' time card. Most important item where we see the time is. For that, again, you have to click on go to event, double click on it. It'll take you to the time for the proper way. Click on go to and select time. So this will give you the employee's time clock on a particular week. You can select whatever the dates you want. I'm just selecting a current paper, which is this week. So this is how the time card will look like. So when the employee clocks in and clocks out, the in and out punch will be stored here. Example, employees clocking in at maybe like 9 a.m. and leaving the office at 5 p.m. He'll be either like punching in and punching out through batches or through fingerprint or through an ID card. Or just you need to. There'll be physical devices, office entrance and exit where he needs to punch in and punch out. Either way, it will be transferred back to the system and his time for punching in and punching out will be stored here. So when do we have to check this time card? Before somebody runs the payroll. This is more or less. We will not be checking it, only the managers will be checking it. We need to know about this to test our functionalities. Or when there is an issue that's saying, if I think like my punches are not loading in time card, then we need to check it up. So with the payroll prospects, who needs to go is manager. Not. So they see what I'm seeing now. They will see that to the managers. And if somebody is a salary, so they're clocking or clock out. It will not be captured. It will not be captured. So this in the bottom will get our total hours, how much hours the employers worked in. So it will give you the details under what are the codes the employee is getting paid. So what wages is getting, these items will be there. How many hours have been calculated properly based on that. So our details will be here and also how many leave birds as of current date, like this is test system. So we have given what number of hours needed. So he has around 694 hours. So this number of hours you can take leads. This is an example. Normally it will be 1, 3 or 80, something like that. So this gives the details of how much balance it has and how much he can take. And if you have asked to take a leave, what he needs to do is he needs to come, select a particular date where he needs to take a leave, and then he was a particular pay code there. Like that will be communicated to them by what a pay code he should be using. Example vacation, and he needs to select this pay code. Also, we have to create. Mostly it will be done system, few items. If there's a new regular one, we need to create how we create it. So once he saves it, he'll be eligible for particular vacation. So this is just a small overview of how the time card would be and what options we have. And if a manager wants to approve his time card, he can see these items, review it, and then click on approve. Or if you want to revert back to approved time card, you can click on remove time. And then here we have a sign off and remove sign off. This is kind of second level of approval. This is what the employees or the payroll administrator need to do before running the payroll. Only signed off pay cards, like your time cards data, will be pulled into the payroll. So this is like a second level of approval. So and then view is like we only we can see like this will be a full view. And if you want to see days only with its exception means like the time card, the employer has some issues like whether he has come late to the office or whether the employees absent for a particular day. Only those items will be visible. Just to review it, this is like a full view. Normally, whatever, everything is there. This is the place where you select the time period. What time period? Previous paper, current or week to date, last week, yesterday, today, or any custom date range using this calendar. What are the date you want? You can navigate a review that particular date, and you can select a particular date, and we can select a particular end date. Now that whole time will be visible to you. So we have seen how an employee's personality data looks like and how our employees take us like. This is how we navigate to these two. So to navigate to People Editor, you need to click on an employee, select People and the Edits. To go to Time Card, click on Go to and Time Card. So these are like a daily use. Like we have to know how to navigate. And the next item is again same thing. If you can apply it, click on Schedules. So this is another thing, is that we can draw like what shift an employee is in. So here for each day, in a live environment, in a working environment, the employee will have his shifts. What should these attach to 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. or 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Shift, whatever it is. So how do you add a shift? Is you need to click on the date, click on add shift, and you need to select the timing. What is the start timing? Example, excellent. Here he is leaving by 5 p.m. So these schedules are like, let's say they were inputting for this employee. So without this time, if he tries to log in, it's not going to work. It will work. It will work in some places we want. We can restrict it. It's not allowing me to write some issue for this employee. So we might select a different one. Someone has added something else. And what I'm seeing now, is it like an actual project? No, this is just a test environment. So this is how the look and feel everything would be, but the data would be different. Mostly, the employees will be coming to the line of progress. So now the employee will be assigned the schedule. So from here, also we can again navigate to the hand card, people in the car and everything like. These items will be available for generic in all the places. this go to button, you can use this go to button again and we can navigate to this guy's hand card. So if you see here this employee in the schedule column, as soon as we added a shift, it will come here. So now we can log in and log out. And what the use of purpose of schedule is before left in these rows. We don't have any exception, but if you see here, we have a red mark here stating unexcused happens. That means the employee is scheduled to work on that day, but he's absent. So that manager will be able to see it. How did you come here? What was the last? Just go to those items. Navigate within different windows. So this will help the manager to review whenever he's having some exception. In this case, he can use like this so that it will show him what are the days that I've got an issue. So that is the reason they are putting up the schedules. Not that all the time will be registered, but this gives him like a manager of privilege to review book of advice. Who has issues, who is fine with what, like that. I have given PM. Oh, is that why it did be that shift? Now it will accept whatever the punches I do. We have interested. The employee can come in and work at any time. That's how it is. The example and what happened. The real estate system, when having a particular schedule, is if the employee misses to like punch in and directly punch out. So like one or the other day I might miss to do it. At that time he might have quite broadly. So this will again give a manager, you have a schedule, you have another exception setting that implies has missed his punch. So these details the manager will be able to review and fix it out. So that is a primary reason why we have a schedule properly. So these are the three items which we are just covering it today. Like I just don't want to overload on the start of the session, just an allocation. So once you get an access, go through these items and just see under setup what are the items available. What are the subtopics under each, mainly on these items. I'll just give you the accruals. Just go through what items you have in that and then pay policy. Here is where we will create the pay codes and the pay rules. Just go through pay policies and accruals and set up. Once they give me access, I can practice or go through it anytime, or I have to do it while you're online. No, you can go through at any time. Just don't make any thing, existing change, create whatever it is that, just create new ones. Don't make any changes now. I'm not sure why, whether you'll be able to create anything within the setup, but navigation wise, you can go through any items, then create schedules, then try to fund just to an existing employee. That's fine. And any existing employee, I can play around, or is it like specific employees? No, it's not like that. You can pick maybe just select maybe any randomly the 3 or 4 employees. Another item is here. There is an option of help. So if you click on this plus icon, it will give you an option to manage my department. Here again, you'll have the n number of sub items here, and one out of it is help. This is the area of which you'll be using it primarily for next 2-3 days. When I'm not available, you can go through these items. This will have a bulk of subtopics. This is from get started. And then again, what is like maybe activities is not needed to you. You can focus more on scheduling, timekeeping. Timekeeping is what you need to focus more on. Timekeeping is what are the cost pay rules and everything. So during the interview, like it's majority, to crack an interview with whatever I learned is majority from like time card accruals and stuff. That's the basic item. There are about 25 models within pronouns, but all the system extensively use three modules, which is timekeeping, accruals, and integration. So integration is something in a third party, but within the system. The two models which will be used by all the companies with the time, like accruals and timekeeping. So, more than this timekeeping, you need to be aware of the next one, which is timekeeping setup. This is how we build a timekeeper. We build up how we build a pay code, how we use the accruals. This item you need to go through in the help. No need to go through any other items that you can do later, but timekeeping setup, whatever the sub items are there, please go through it again. This accruals will have other sub items. And when you come here, example, it might look like only this much, but you need to click on it. It will expand and it will be more data. So, for like accruals, every company has their own policy. So if I need to set up an accruals for an employee, I need to know what their policies are. They will give you the details. Based on that, I'll start after the next session. I'll give you a few more info on a few other items, and then we'll start with the accruals, and we'll start with the pay policy, and then we'll go to accruals. Let's say this is like an UKG platform, but then let's say my client is, for example, ADP or something. So they will have their own profile under this UKG platform. I'm just trying to understand, how would it look when I log in? Would it be UKG only? There is no change in that. Maybe their company name would be like little bit somewhere after visible, but it is a UKG. Kronos is UKG. That will not change. This will be the same look and feel you will have. Maybe few items would be like a little bit different. That's it. So you need to go through pay policies and accruals on the weekends. And when we connect back, I'll go this will have an extensive prop or whatever you need to know about it. Like a prerequisite to learn from us. Every item, everything will be detailed. You can see here it will be. This is a place you need to look for the definitions to crack an interview. All the details will be here, so please go through the timekeeping setup, specifically pay policies and accruals. It's under timekeeping setup, not timekeeping setup. Like this is more of what we have on the first session here. I don't want to give more items. You just get the access and play around for maybe 2-3 days. And then we'll connect back and we'll go through the one more intro session on few other items. Whichever I have this out, like we have various items here, and if the setup. And I'll give you an overview of what setup is, how we use it. And then probably we'll start in the next session on the setting of pay policies, pay codes and other stuffs. Once that is the major part, because this is the model which will give you more, consume more time since it has more sub items. Maybe it would take almost a week or more than that to cover up pay policies. And then we'll just start with the other items, like what access profile is about, what we have in common setup. So the major challenge of this course will be covered in policies and accruals. So this is like a foundation for promise, like in a prospective that you need to land in a promised job. This accruals and pay policies is the area you need to have a thorough knowledge, and then you need to have a good overview on access profiles, common setup, organization setup, and a little bit of system configuration and scheduling setup. That's attributes to basic like Kronos modules. So we'll start with pay policies, then go to accruals, and then we'll touch base the other models. So without pay policies, like you will not understand any other models. This is like the first and foremost foundation. Without pay policies, accruals will not work. So I'll start with this and then we'll. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.